Decisions are an integral part of our day-to-day lives. A choice of alternatives is a prominent feature of our affluent and privileged society. Indeed, for many people, the freedom to make these choices offers concrete confirmation of the quality of their lives. Making decisions is an attractive activity. It's stimulating. It's fun. It's a challenge, too, which is probably why a lot of us even like making decisions in our spare time and in the games we play. Decisions are important. In society, the responsibility that goes with difficult decisions is treated with respect. We look upon political leaders and captains of industry as important people. And at least part of this importance is because they can make vital decisions. Decisions that can have far-reaching effects.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal, before this decade is out, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth.
For us as flight crews, decisions are important for an additional reason. As they say, pilots are the only people in the company who make multi-million-dollar decisions in a split second. It's true, the decisions we have to make in fractions of a second can save or lose the aircraft in our charge. More importantly, of course, those decisions will affect the fates of the many passengers whose lives are in our hands. Anyone who is entrusted to make vital decisions of this kind has not gotten where he is by chance. All our flight deck crews have years of rigorous selection and training behind them. The thoroughness and care begin with initial selection. The Flight Training Selection Board uses paper and pencil tests to assess basic aptitude and intelligence. Spatial awareness and skilled coordination are also vital. There's special apparatus to evaluate performance under pressure. And on the character side, the selectors will look for aspects of personality and the ability to work in a team. In fact, the whole individual will be tested and examined, literally from head to toe. For the candidates who are accepted, the next step is intensive training. Countless hours in the schoolroom studying basic systems and procedures. Hundreds of demanding training flights to acquire essential flying skills.
Okay, good.
Navigation training, both visual and on instruments. And approaches and landings. All of this is preached and practiced, time and time again. Some of these activities are too dangerous to perform in a real aircraft. Engine failures, treacherous wind shear, runway icing, and countless other major problems can be replicated in the simulator with astonishing realism. Everything is practiced and practiced again until it becomes almost second nature. Pilot training is incredibly thorough and demanding. But one thing is sure, anyone who has successfully completed it and takes his place in an airliner cockpit will feel more than prepared for his moment of truth and ready to make those split-second decisions that really matter.
Left engine fire.
Engine fire, left engine.
Reverse is set.
Outstanding talent, plus comprehensive training, plus responsibility and discipline, all add up to a decision maker par excellence.
Yet year after year, dozens of accidents occur in civil aviation, and 2 out of every 3 of them are directly ascribed to the behavior of the cockpit crew. 50% of all airliner losses are attributed to a bad decision or bad judgment on the flight deck. 50%. How can this be? How can hand-picked, thoroughly trained decision makers come to make mistakes of this kind? To find the answer, we need to dig deep into the question. We need to ask ourselves, what actually happens inside us when we make a decision?
Oh là là. Oh yeah. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no.
The brain is a highly sophisticated piece of equipment, and the processes that lead to a decision being made are very complex indeed. But for our purposes, we can simplify them to a few basic steps. The first step is perception. This is where we consciously take in the information we need. Next comes assessment. We put this information into context and look at the possible solutions. In the third step, we choose one of these possibilities. This is the actual decision. And in the last step, the result. The decision and its consequences are fed back into the system. After all, this experience may well influence our future decisions. That may sound a bit theoretical. Let's use a concrete example to show what we mean. Say you're the father of a family preparing for a weekend hike. The weather forecast says changeable, and it may cloud over. You listen to this information and take it in. This is your perception phase as you start the decision-making activity. You want to take the new video camera with you, the one you just got for your birthday. But the rucksack isn't big enough for the camera and the family's waterproofs. You now put your initial perceptions into context. You can't see any clouds around right now, and everyone knows that weather forecasters tend to be pessimistic in their predictions. You complete your assessment phase by concluding that the chance of rain is about 50-50. Now comes the decision. You decide to take an optimistic view and pack the video camera. The waterproofs are left in the closet. Of course, you won't know if you made the right decision until the end of the day. Let's say it does rain, and you get a little wet. The result of your decision is bound to have some kind of influence on your perception and your assessment the next time this situation arises. You'll probably be a bit more cautious.
So much for the 4 decision-making phases. Let's leave the perception and result for now and concentrate on the assessment and decision. There's a widely held belief in the aviation community that in situations like aborting takeoff, the best aviators can make very fast decisions based on purely rational considerations. In fact, these instant decisions are based on careful preparation. All the possible actions and all their possible consequences will have been thoroughly assessed beforehand. All the possible responses will have been talked through, played out, and noted. All these can decisions will have been stored away, ready to be recalled at a moment's notice. So when the situation we've imagined actually occurs, the can decision can be called up and applied immediately. We seem to be very good at using and applying these decisions, even if they've been prepared by other people and not by ourselves. But when we get into unusual or unexpected situations, it's a whole new ball game. Here, our abilities to assess and respond can be surprisingly limited. There may be no time to analyze a situation and come to a conclusion. The simplest of connections may be too much for our logic. This is why, when we're under pressure of time, we tend to help our reason out with a fair amount of intuition. In situations like this, we're all likely to make mistakes. If we look into the causes of accidents and incidents in aviation, we come back time and again to 4 human characteristics which can seriously limit our powers of assessment and our ability to make decisions. Let's look at each of them in turn.